Have you ever seen the movie Barnyard? It came out when I was 9 years old, and that's the first time I ever remember a movie making me feel something. Back before the libtards took over children's entertainment. Now sure, before this a movie might have made me sad when the dog got kicked off the basketball team, or I might have laughed when someone slipped on a banana peel. But this was different. This was deeper. There's a particular scene in this movie that didn't just make me feel a one-dimensional emotion, but rather connected with me on a more fundamental level than I knew was possible at the time. And even now, close to 20 years later, I still think about it sometimes, and I'm still just as impacted by it as I was back then. And that is what I want to share with you today. This is an animated kids comedy, and so I know it sounds silly, but watching this movie at 9 years old changed me. Now, it's been a few years since I've seen this movie, but I want to tell it from my heart, from how I remember it. And so if I get some of the finer details a little off, please forgive me. But in the words of my father, never let the truth get in the way of a good story. Barnyard is an animated kids comedy about a farm populated with lively animals. And it's somewhat similar to Toy Story in the fact that when people aren't around, the animals act almost human. They speak English, play instruments, throw wild parties, and there's even a humorous scene where they order a pizza, because again, they can speak English, and then they use mannequin parts to try to convince the teenage pizza delivery driver that they're not animals, but in fact humans. The animals love having a good time and throwing parties, and they do so almost every single night. But yet the farm is not without its evils. One of these evils are the wild animals that live outside the farm and who try to sneak in at night and kill the innocent farm animals. But that's when old Ben is introduced. Ben is an old cow and acts as the patriarch of the farm. Everyone loves Ben because Ben loves everyone. He worries about them and cares for them and looks out for them. If you're new to the farm, Ben comes and welcomes you. If you're sick, Ben comes and checks in on you. If you're having trouble doing something, Ben comes and helps you. Every single morning, Ben does a roll call to make sure all the animals are safe and accounted for. Because years ago, Ben saw the danger that lurked outside the farm. And so he set up a perimeter and then made a team of watchmen, and now they take turns watching over the farm 24/7, night and day, to make sure everyone stays safe. But not all of these watchmen have the same level of duty and honor that Ben does. One night, Ben's adopted son Otis, yes, Ben is such a great guy, he adopted an orphaned animal. His son Otis is supposed to be on watch, but Otis is a little immature and would rather go to the party instead. And so after begging him, Ben finally graciously accepts his shift and allows Otis to go to the party. And so as the party rages on through the night, Ben stands on the hill all alone, keeping watch. But as the night drags on, something feels off to Ben. He hasn't seen or heard anything, but he's been doing this job long enough that he can feel when something's not right. And sure enough, on the other side of the farm in the chicken coop, a pack of coyotes have broken in and are preparing to eat the hens. The coyotes are toying with them, holding them by their necks, taunting them, telling them they look delicious and that they're going to eat their babies. And the hens are horrified, rightfully so. They are moments away from both them and their loved ones being slaughtered in the most horrific ways. But just then, when all hope feels lost, the door slams open. The coyotes look up and see Ben standing there, and the hens are instantly relieved. They begin to smile and then even laugh, because they know Ben. They know Ben will never let anything happen to them. And even though they are currently being held by their necks by the coyotes, the hens have never felt safer because Ben is there. The coyotes know Ben too. This isn't their first time on the farm. Ben has dealt with them before. And for a split second, the coyotes are almost scared. But then they smirk with a streak of arrogance, because there's more of them, they're hungrier, and they're stronger than they've ever been before. Ben breaks the silence with his powerful and steady voice. Put the hens down. The coyotes scoff as Ben has nothing to bargain with. They have him vastly outnumbered. And so the leader of the coyotes arrogantly offers him a deal. We have you outnumbered, you can't stop us. But how about this? We'll just take the chickens we need, we'll leave you with all the rest, we'll get to eat, you won't get hurt, it's a win-win. Upon hearing this, the hens don't even flinch, because they know Ben. And Ben doesn't even consider the option. because to Ben it never was an option. And so, a surprise to no one, Ben says no. And the coyotes begin to ferociously attack, as the song "I Won't Back Down" plays. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, and I won't back down. And true to the song, Ben fights back with a passion the farm has not seen before or since. Ben is smacking coyotes against trees and throwing them into each other, but for every coyote he defeats, 2 more come to take its place. And after a while, they knock Ben to the ground and they dogpile him, and they begin tearing him apart with their teeth. Ben tries to fend them off, but there's just too many of them. Thinking the pack has him under control, the leader turns his attention back to the chickens. But Ben sees this, and he is overcome with righteous anger. Fire fills his veins, and he fights through the pack of coyotes, grabs the leader from off the chickens, throws him onto a tree, and injures him. At this point, every coyote is either severely injured or dead. And so in a moment of panic, the leader calls the retreat, and they all turn tail and run. And so Ben stands in the moonlight, bloodied, watching them retreat. Ben did it. He saved the chickens. He saved the farm, but at a great price. As Ben is watching the coyotes run out of eyesight, a small smile comes across his face. He then falls to the ground and dies. Ben died protecting the innocent, and he died willingly. At any point in time, he could have given up and ran away, but he didn't, because he had a responsibility to the farm, because he was a man. The next morning, the farmer finds Ben dead, surrounded by dead coyotes, and not one single other farm animal even hurt. Even though Ben hid his true self from all humans, including the farmer still knew of the character Ben had. Even the farmer knew that Ben died protecting the innocent. And so the farmer buries him and marks his grave with a sign that reads, "Ben, a good cow." And all the other farm animals are overcome with grief. Ben was practically a father to them. He died protecting them. The farm doesn't know if they can ever recover from this grief. But yet in his death, Ben rests easy, knowing that the farm is safe. When I first watched this movie at 9, I was overcome with a sense of duty and responsibility. I wanted to live like Ben. I wanted to be a man like Ben. I wanted to stand against wickedness and protect the innocent, even if that cost me my life, so that I could say, I won't back down. You can stand me at the gates of hell, and I won't back down. Not because I have something to prove, but because I have a responsibility and a duty to protect. Because in that moment, at 9 years old, I realized that that's what a real man does. That's what a real man is. My friends, very similar to old Ben, there's a man who came and died to save you. And that man's name is Jesus Christ. He loves you, he cares for you, and he died for you. He wants to save you, but you have to let him in. Won't you let him in?